Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello to everyone and welcome to our presentations. We are from the group 6. So first of all, let me thank you all for watching this video. Let me introduce myself. I am SITI SALWA BINTI KHALID and I'm responsible for tell you about our topic. So what we like to present to you today is about space model. So the content can be looked at under chapter 6 and our presentation will take about 18 to 20 minutes to cover overall topics. So before that, the objective of space model is to determine and analyze the strategic position of the company by using a space matrix method. So in our presentations, we focus on 5 subtopics, which is 4 dimensions: factor, step to construct, 4 quadrants, and last is the applications of space analysis by Coca-Cola. So by the end of this talk, you will be familiar with a space model. So I begin by filling you in on the introductions of a space model. Before that, do you ever known how many business in Malaysia struggling during this pandemic? It actually affected most of the business, including small, medium, to the big corporations, which make up a significant 98.5% of nation business. Therefore, the strategic position and action evaluations matrix, or in short we call space matrix, is a strategic management tools that focus on the strategic formulations, especially as related to the competitive positions of an organization. So space analysis allowed for the development of a commercial strategy for the project. So the inspection checks both the inner and outside situations, allowing for the developments of a suitable approach. So it was developed in 1982 by Strategic Economy, Alan Rowe, Richard Mason, Carl Dickels, Richard Mans, and Robert Mockler. So that's all for the introduction of space models. So I will pass the time to the second presenter for briefing more on this topic. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to madam and all friends. My name is NURHAZIRAH IZZATY binti SAHARUL AZAHAR and my student ID is 2019202566. I'm the second presenter and I will explain about 4 dimensions that involve in space metric. Okay, 4 dimension in space metric is the internal and external metric, which is a way or tools in the space model analysis that can assist the strategic management by analyzing the working environment and strategic position of the firm. The 4 dimension of space metric is financial strength and competitive advantage, which is internal factor, while for the external factor are industry strength and environmental stability. Okay, the space metric is constructed by plotting the value of competitive advantage and industry strength on the x-axis, while on the y-axis it must have environmental stability and financial strength. Next, I will talk about the factor that include in 4 dimension of space metric axis. Firstly, on financial strength part, the factor are return on investment, leverage, liquidity, working capital, cash flow, easy of exit from market, and risks involved in a business. Okay, secondly, for the competitive advantage, the factor that occur are market share, product quality, product life cycle, customer loyalty, competition's capacity utilization, technological know-how, and control over supplier and distributor. Okay, next for the third dimension is environmental stability. The factor of this dimension are technological changes, rate of inflation, demand variability, price of range, barrier to entry into market, competitive pressure, and lastly is price elasticity of demand. The last factor for the last dimension is industry strength. Industry strength factor is growth potential, profit potential, financial stability, technological know-how, resource utilization, capital intensity, easy of entry into market, and lastly is productivity capacity utilization. Okay, so that's all from me, and I will pass this presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
So we continue on the next part. As I mentioned on introductions earlier, a space model is the strategic management tools that focuses on the strategic formulations. Therefore, it actually uses a bit of formula compared to other model like SWOT matrix or recent model blue ocean strategy. So space matrix is constructed by plotting calculated values for the competitive advantage and industry strength dimensions on the x-axis or horizontal axis, and y-axis or vertical axis is based on the environmental stability and financial strength dimensions. So first step, you need to choose a combination of factors that best characterize competitive advantage, environmental stability, financial strength, and industry strength. And then rate individual factor using rating system specific to each dimensions using rating scale from -6 worst to the -1 best. After that, from this part it start for the calculations where need to calculate an average score for IS, ES, CA, and FS by summing the numbers and dividing by the set of factor. And next step after the calculations, plot the average scores for each dimensions such as ES, CA, and IS and FS on the proper axis in the matrix. And for the last two steps, add the average score of the two dimensions that lay in the x-axis and in the y-axis. Lastly, find the intersections of the x and y-axis and point, and draw the line from the center of the space matrix. So these lines reveal the type of strategy the company should pursue. So from the line, we can see which quadrants of the company lies on. For more in-depth about these quadrants, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is NURUL, ELLY, NABILA, BINTI, BADRUL, HISHAM, and I'm here going to present about aggressive quadrant and competitive quadrant. Aggressive quadrant means that the company is in a stable position that actively seeks out other businesses to compete with. Potential options for a company in this position is first, to concentrate on products that can truly compete with other businesses. Second, to achieve a higher market share, targeted marketing effort is needed. Third, to concentrate on providing the most affordable price as compared to other competitors. And lastly, to look for potential companies to take over and increase the market share. Next quadrant is competitive quadrant. Competitive quadrant means that the companies are competitive but not yet stable. Potential options for a company in this position is to look for partnership with well-established companies, to increase productivity to make supply more reliable, also to look for other things to sell in addition to the core business to increase the sales.
Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is HANI YASMIN binti HAMZI, and I will continue explaining another two quadrant, which is conservative position and defensive position. First and foremost, let me explain on conservative position. A conservative position is a stable industry with a low growth rate and a financially stable company. In addition, a critical factor is product competitiveness, and the company should protect its successful products and develop new ones, as well as consider the possibilities of more attractive penetration into the industry and lower cost. The company is stuck in a bad market with a low market share and perhaps slow negative growth. The company can either improve its current competitive position by developing competitive advantages or focusing on the more appealing natures of the overall market, or it can look outside of the current market for profitability opportunities, either by leveraging existing resources and capabilities or diversifying into a new area. Alright, now I will continue explaining the defensive position. When the industry attractiveness or competitive advantage axis is negative and the financial strength or environmental stability axis is likewise negative, space analysis suggests a defensive strategy. A defensive position refers to a corporation that is in an unappealing competitive industry and lacks competitive product and financial resources. Because competitiveness is a vital component, the company should cut expenses, restrict investment, and consider exiting the industry. The space analysis defensive strategy is situated between environmental stability and competitive advantage. These are companies that are being pushed out by their rivals. They are unlikely to make it if they do not take action. The steps listed below are possible choices for a company in this situation. For example, minimize costs to get a competitive advantage, reduce investment and manufacture at a cheap cost, and focus on core business while selling off auxiliary activities. Alright, that's all from me. Another two quadrant, which is conservative and defensive. Thank you. Alright, so now for the example, our group chose Coca-Cola company because they use space model strategy. As you can see, this is the calculation space matrix for Coca-Cola. We can see from the graph above that the Coca-Cola company is in the aggressive quadrant of the space matrix. It is located at coordinates 3.50 for the X component and 3.17 for the Y component. It demonstrates that the company is in the admirable position to use its information system to capitalize on external opportunities, overcome weaknesses, and avoid threats. So depending on the specific conditions that the company faces, Coca-Cola company may pursue a variety of strategies such as market development, product development, market penetration, forward integration, backward integration, horizontal integration, horizontal diversification, concentrate diversification, and conglomerate diversification. Alright, I hope you guys understand with the example provided. Thank you.
Lastly, I'm going to talk about the conclusion. The conclusion is the more extensive this application is and the better the evaluation of the elements and the constituent components of these matrices is, the higher the strategic effect result will be. It is thus demonstrated that by employing the space matrix, the company aids in occupying a strategic position in developing competitive advantages and unique abilities, and that a company's history aids in boosting and developing its entrepreneurship.